When I'm fantasizing about eating the ice cream or the chocolate bar or the cookies or the chips, that's telling me that I actually want to eat it. And since what I'm thinking directs what I do, and I'm telling myself, well, Violet, you really want to eat that cookie or those chips because that's what you're dreaming about, at some point when it's in front of me, I eat it. Our brain controls everything we do, which means that what's going on in here determines what I'm going to do. Hello, Wellness Warriors. Welcome to Mind-Blowing Health and Wellness with Violet. The reason I make these videos is because I want you to understand that good mental health and physical health are needed to experience that overall sense of well-being. If you find these kind of videos helpful, please subscribe. Every single day you wake up, your brain is writing your story. It's creating the reality that you live. And it does this by gathering the information that you get from your five senses. So see, hear, smell, taste, touch, but also gathering the information you get from the sense of heat, the sense of distance, the sense of orientation. All of this information comes together to create this experience of living that we have. Take that information and add to it that our brain also has the ability to create brand new experiences that we've never lived by using bits and pieces of information that we have lived and creating that scenario inside of our head. Again, powerful little computer up here that's not only interpreting information, but also can create new scenarios for us. So we've seen this ability to create new scenarios. For example, when we daydream, that ability that we have to be here and yet create an elaborate story in our mind where we are doing things and interacting with people that we haven't actually done or haven't actually interacted with. That's this mechanism that we have of being able to create reality. If I asked you in this moment right now to imagine your favorite food, and I asked you to imagine right now eating that favorite food, most of us can smell it, feel the texture in our mouth, and even taste it, despite the fact that we're not actually eating that food right now. That's the power of our mind at work. We need to be careful though, because that power can lead us into a trap. See, what happens if I allow myself during the course of my day to imagine eating highly carbohydrate-laden foods? I'm going to have that sensation of the sweet taste in my mouth, the texture of that food that I love. I'm going to experience that as if I actually ate it. And why that's problematic, even though I haven't actually ingested the food, is that it feels so real to me while I'm imagining it. It reopens that desire to engage with it, to eat it, right? I'm addicted to carbohydrates. So if I allow myself to dream about eating those carbohydrates, I'm re-engaging the addiction even though I haven't actually eaten the food. And now that push to go get those carbohydrates has been awoken in me again. And this is part of the reason that I see so many people doing so well on keto, but yet still every once in a while eating those high carb foods. Even if they didn't eat anything sweet for a week or two, in their mind, they were still fantasizing about that chocolate cake on their spouse's plate or that cookie that they know is in the cupboard that tastes so good, and engaging that brain taste connection even though I didn't eat it. So what happens when I'm in front of the food eventually that I've been daydreaming about? I eat it. And the question is why? Why do I eat it? I haven't eaten it in 2 weeks, but I have eaten it. See, this is why understanding that what happens in my mind is my reality is so important, because I've eaten it 3-4 times this week in my mind. So when it's in front of me and I have access, I will eat it. Now, we're really good at telling ourselves that, it doesn't matter, it was just one time. The problem is, how often do I have access? See, unfortunately, for many of us, we're living with people who are not doing a ketogenic lifestyle. Maybe because they didn't have weight to lose, maybe because they don't have metabolic issues, Our children are a good example of that I might still be buying cookies for my kids. I'm in that category, even though I don't eat those things. So if I'm still buying even some level of junk food for my kid, even though, in all fairness, a lot of it goes in the garbage, but I'd rather her throw it away than feel deprived. It's a strategy that I'm applying. But for me, it's there, and I know it's there. Why am I not tempted? Because of what's happening in my head. I don't imagine myself eating those foods because I know what I think is what I will do. And if I tell myself that that would be a delicious treat to have right now, chances are before the night is over, I will have that delicious treat. It's so important for us to recognize that that dialogue that's happening in our brain directs our behavior. And so when I'm fantasizing about eating the ice cream or the chocolate bar or the cookies or the chips, that's telling me that I actually want to eat it. And since what I'm thinking directs what I do, and I'm telling myself, well, Violet, you really want to eat that cookie or those chips because that's what you're dreaming about, at some point when it's in front of me, I eat it. Because I've been telling myself that that's really what I want to do this whole time. So why was I doing a ketogenic lifestyle? Why was I not eating this food? See, part of the problem when I continue to allow myself to daydream about poor quality foods is that I'm treating a ketogenic lifestyle like a diet. Something that I need to do for a short period of time to get to a certain goal, and then I'll be able to go back to my normal. The problem is that normal is what got you to this heavy weight in the first place. That normal is what got you to the metabolic problems you're living in the first place. That normal is something that doesn't get solved in 5 months or 6 months, or like I'm 2 years into my ketogenic journey. I've lost 70 pounds. I'm at goal weight, but guess what? My health is not yet regulated. You see, the truth is, until you've rebuilt your body with good quality food, your health is not regulated. And how long does it take to rebuild a human body? About 7 years for the majority of it, but some parts take longer. Some parts take 9, some parts takes 10. So somewhere between 7 and 10 years from now, then I'm going to be able to say, well, pretty much I can guarantee that my health has been regulated. But until I reach that point, do I take a chance by eating poor quality food? Do I take a chance by allowing myself to be inflamed again? By allowing myself to gain weight again? By allowing myself to be poisoned by sugar? I need you, all my wellness warriors, I need you to understand that the answer to that is no. So if my thoughts direct my actions and I allow myself to recreate a reality in my mind where I'm eating garbage, I need to understand that that recreation on a regular basis will equal at some point my actual Violet in the world eating that garbage. And I know that that's not what I want for myself. When we accept that our mind directs our behavior, and we accept that everything that our mind creates for us is lived as real, then we understand that allowing myself to daydream about eating poor quality foods affects the foods I actually live in my everyday life. When I allow myself to daydream about eating cookies or fruit or potatoes in my everyday life, I'm going to be much more likely to say, it's okay, it's just one time. Or, it's okay, I can manage it. But in truth, every time I eat those things, I'm damaging my health. I need to understand that if I'm going to do better for me. Because if I'm trying to build the best quality body that I can to take me into my 80, 90, 100-year-old self and still be able to do all the activities that I want to do, eating garbage foods isn't going to get me there. So then what happens when I think about the foods that I am eating as delicious, healthy foods that will build the best quality body and bring me into the future? See, allowing myself to actively say this food is exactly what I want. Allow myself to seek out the foods that I'm actually eating. So that means allowing myself to cook them in a way that I actually like them. So in my real world, when I'm eating this food, this new food that I'm creating that I know is going to fuel my body and build the healthiest possible body, when I cook it in a way that it tastes delicious in my real world, then when I'm hungry and I start thinking about what am I going to eat, I have options. Because now, because I like the food that I'm eating, because I find it delicious, I can allow myself to think, oh, I'm going to make this for supper, this healthy thing, and let myself engage that feeling of that's going to be delicious, versus this poor habit I have of saying, oh, what would really be good right now is a slice of bread with butter on it. Or what would really be good right now is an apple. Or what would really be good right now is a chocolate bar. When I allow myself to love what I'm making right now. So how do I do that? I cook it in a way that is delicious, so that when I go to eat it, it is delicious. So that when I think about my food, I can think about stuff that's delicious and healthy. We can change this. It doesn't need to stay that the only things you really loved were these carby, garbagey foods that made us fat and made us metabolically weak and were killing you, because you're doing keto now for a reason, to be healthier. Allow yourselves to learn to love the food that you're eating by cooking it in a way that you actually find enticing and delicious. I don't cook foods that I don't like, because there's no reason for me to cook those foods. I don't like them. But everything that I do make myself for supper, I enjoy, because I know that making foods that I enjoy will equal, and then Violet continues to eat them, which equals I continue to build this healthy body well into my future. And you can do the same. All my wellness warriors, you can do the same, because it's not a trick, it's reality. If I talk to myself in a way that says that this delicious meal I can replicate, and this was good and I liked it, then these new delicious meals that I will continue to make will continue to be good. And the meals that were making me sick, I understand that they're not good, and I stop looking at them. I stop looking at them this way, and I stop looking at them in here. Whenever I'm choosing food, my number one question is, how is this going to fuel my body and build the good quality body I want to be in the 7-8 years from now? And because I ask that question, I choose quality foods that taste delicious. I hope that I've helped you to understand that you can change this habit you have of dreaming about junk food, which leads to you eating that junk food. It doesn't have to be the case. If you found this video helpful and want to contribute to the production of future videos like this, Amazon, Teespring, Patreon links in the description below. I love talking to my wellness warriors. And for everybody who's new, subscribe, ring the bell, so that you know when my next videos are coming out, because I will make more videos, because we can get you on a better path to good mental and physical health. Thanks for watching. I can't wait to talk to you again next week.